is great. Yeah, I just wanted to come here just to have a conversation because I feel like this is a lot in our minds, and we just want to talk about it. And I feel like I can't get enough of this trial. Um, maybe because we've seen Diddy in the spotlight for so many years. Oh my gosh, I don't know. But I'm gonna miss this trial when it's finished. I hate to say that because I've been looking forward to it day and night. And who else thinks it's just crazy what I can't what the defense did today, where they did not bring anybody up to speak. I'm like, on behalf of Diddy, I'm like, this is just crazy. This is crazy. And I think about all of the millions of dollars that he is paying for his lawyers. And they didn't have not one person. Not, I was looking forward to seeing, maybe some great things he's done in the community and people to come up and say, I don't know about the allegations, but this is a great man, and for them to show what a great man he is, for the jury and the judge to be like, man, we can't put this guy in jail. He's the community. Different communities would be hurting, if we take all his money and put him in jail. That's what I was thinking. But not to have not one person, I've never seen that in my life. To not put not one person. And I know people could say, well, character witness, his character wasn't on trial. You can say whatever you want to say. You can quote the law however you want to quote it. There was, I can't remember the exact amount, like 34 people that were witnesses against him, even though Jane said she didn't know she was testifying against him. But they testified against him. To have 34 people testify against him, and then nobody else, it's like, oh my gosh, you know? It's like, oh my gosh. So I would have really thought, really thought that, hey there, hey, I would have thought that he would have had a defense. What do you guys think? For all the money he paid to have no defense, it's crazy. But I don't know. What do you guys think? He's gonna come out innocent or guilty? What do you guys think? Write it down. What do you think he's gonna come out, innocent or guilty? I feel like it could go anyway, either way. That's how I feel like it could go either way. Hello, Rikura Style, Dominican Salon. Hello, Razor Rice. Hey, yeah, I feel like it could go either way. Honestly, I know some channels are like, oh, he's going to jail, he's going to jail, and other channels are like, free Diddy, free Diddy, free Diddy. But I don't know. I mean, the wrong has been done, but you gotta convince the people. And my thing is, he did stuff wrong in New York, in LA, in Florida. Why did they pick New York to try him in? Like, guys, he just had the key to the city of New York. Like, what was that, last year, the year before? That's my only thing. Like, if you're gonna take somebody down who has at the city of New York, you need a lot. And don't get me wrong, I think they proved it, but I just feel like somebody like that, like, you need more. Like, where's Ali Carter? All these people that we've been watching on YouTube. Like, where are all these other people? Like, I don't know. Like, I was waiting for like a grand finale, and we didn't get it. So I mean, I'm convinced. If I was there, I'd be like, okay, guilty. You know what I mean? But I don't know. But the people that are there, I don't know. He could come out innocent. He could get maybe just a little bit of time. You know, they could just cut back on the time. I have no idea. And then the defense for not putting anybody up there, it's so crazy. But I mean, the text that they put up there said, you know, that like especially Jane, she wanted to be a part of the freak offs, you know. So that's damaging because now people are gonna look at that and be like, oh, never mind. There's no such smekes trafficking, like Tisa Tell say. There's no smekes trafficking. So even though, you know, I mean, they gotta go through the definition of rape and smekes trafficking again, because if you say no, it's rape. Even if you said yes 100,000 times, if you say no one time, it's rape. So if you say no to the smekes, it can end up being trafficking, you know? So you can pull out all the texts from years before, but it ended up being something else. And I think a lot of women, and maybe some men too, you can talk about a relationship that you had that started out good and it ended up bad, you know? So any relationship, you can look at any relationship who ended up bad and be like, it didn't end up bad because look at the text at the beginning. I mean, who doesn't have a good beginning? Oh my gosh. But is the jury going to be able to see through that? Is the thing. Are they going to be able to see through that? Because at the end of the day, we're very emotional people, you know? And if you have a guy on there and maybe a girl has lied on him before and he sees that, he's like, whoa, innocent, you know? And same thing with a woman. You know, if they see that, they might just be like, oh, he's coming in with his sweater and his gray hair. Oh my gosh. Why do they all keep doing that? Why do I don't that is a strategy. They keep going when they're not in prison or in the court system. Maybe that's what prison doing to them. I don't know, I can't say. But it's like when they're not in jail, they just looking so good and you know. And then all of a sudden, you know, they're in court and they got gray hair. I forgot who it was that, what, was it Bill Cosby? It was like he was walking like he couldn't see with a cane. Somebody else walking with a walker. So you'd be like, oh, there's no way that person can do anything. They can't see. They got a walker. They got a cane. And this one, he didn't dye his hair. But, you know, are people going to see through that? Because if he comes out, his hair's not staying gray, you know? I don't know. It's like they just want to portray. And then the heart thing that he does. Oh, Lord. I don't know. I don't know. It could go either way. And then he doesn't have any previous. He doesn't. So, he could go, I mean, you just need one person to have reasonable doubt. Just one person, you know? And so I don't know. I think we should be neutral, because if not, that's how people get upset. There's so many people that are like, "Oh, he's going away for life." I I would be surprised if he did. Honestly, I would be surprised. And then if he walked, oh my gosh, that would be something else too. I really hope that he gets help. Honestly, I hope he gets help. I hope this is a wake up call to him to get help. Not just him and others like him. You know, because if you're paying for somebody to have smacks, you know, in front of you, like the person that you're supposed to care about, for somebody else to have smacks with that person, like you need help. You know, you need help. That's not okay. That's not okay. And I just hope he gets help. You know, hope he gets help. Hope everybody gets help. You know, Cassie, God bless her. She sounds like, you know, she's in therapy, but I think she's still like on medication and stuff. Like, I pray the best for her, because some of these women and maybe some of the men too. I mean, some of them, they've gone through, it sounds like traumatic experiences, for years, for years. So it takes time. It takes time to heal. But there's nothing that God can't do. Amen. I just wanted to come up here and talk about it for a little bit because I almost wanted to offer just like a neutral ground because I see a lot of people that are like, free Diddy. And then I see other people that are like, he's going to jail for life. And I feel like we need a place where we could talk about both sides. We need a place where we could come together and talk about both sides because honestly, none of us is there and we don't know. We've heard the courts. We're going to hear more tomorrow or Thursday, but we don't know we really don't know what they're going to decide. Are they going to make an example out of him? I feel like there's a lot of more things they could have said and they didn't. People say, oh, because it was a speedy trial and Diddy asked for a speedy trial. I don't know. Part of me was just like, if you're gonna bring somebody this big down, like, I don't know. I wish they would have maybe just watched him for another year and get some more stuff, you know? Get some more stuff. Like, we hear about, if, allegedly, if somebody, like, if there's any child trafficking or even other kind of human trafficking or uh, what was the other thing I was thinking about? Oh, you know, somebody getting unalived or something like that. I don't know. I was expecting something bigger than that. But then again, I don't know. This might be how they used to take the mafia down. They couldn't get them. They couldn't link them to the bodies. They couldn't link them to anything, and they would put them away on tax evasion. So I'm like, that's what I've been thinking about. I'm like, is it one of those? Because some of the stuff I'm like, you guys could have gotten more stuff like on those tapes. You mean to tell me, like, I don't know. But there's a part of me that feels like that. Like maybe they're just trying to just get them off the street and just get them on what they can try to get them on, like transporting the prostitutes from state to state. I know they proved that. So I mean, if they want to, they could take like one charge and do the max for that charge, even if it's just one. I mean, they could do that. Or they could do, if it's 15 years, give him half, and he come out in a couple of years with time served. I don't know, good behavior. I don't know. But I have a feeling we're gonna be watching this. We are gonna be watching this, and I think it's a wake up call. I hope it's a wake up call to other people that are involved in this type of behavior. You got to be careful that you're not coercing somebody or using violence to get people to do what you want them to do. And yeah, and just really protect yourself. A lot of times too, when you have a lot of money, people are gonna come for you anyway. So you got to protect yourself. Oh Lord, I'm sleepy. But yeah, I pray the best for everybody, honestly. I don't take joy in seeing people go to jail. I don't. But, it's just a lot of bad stuff happened. So, I mean, if he did go to jail, it's like, I kind of feel sorry for him, but it's like, dude, you knew what you were doing and you kept doing it. That's what I think. Like, I felt like God gave him so many chances and he just kept on, kept on. So anyway, I just pray the best for everybody. I don't want to see anybody, be unalived. I don't want to see. I pray the best for everybody. And this, what I was just thinking about, just having a neutral place, because I just see a lot of places where everybody's like happy to see him go to jail, And the other place is like, no, 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 he's gonna go free. I just want us to have a place in the middle. You know, I have a place in the middle, and really, honestly, none of us was there. We all don't really know what happened. We just got bits and pieces. He had a lot. He had other people working for him. We didn't hear from KK. What did KK have to say? Or the lady, I can't remember her name in HR. Like, we didn't hear from a lot of people. And some of the stuff we heard from the people, I felt like we didn't hear everything. We just, like, I don't know. Some of the people that got immunity, I felt like they were just giving us bits and pieces, you know? But, yeah. No, it's definitely interesting. I just wanted to offer a neutral place. What do you think? He's innocent? Do you think he's guilty? You can put on the comments, put what you think. And we will be in tune. We will be watching. We shall be watching. I can't remember what they said, what they were going to do tomorrow. Because they had switched it up with the whole thing with nobody testifying. The defense said nobody testifying. So, if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. I know that they have to do their final speech. I look forward to hearing that. And I look forward to hearing it. I think the jury, they're probably sick and tired of being there. So we might get a fast verdict, I think, because they're just tired of being there. They're ready to be, go back to their normal lives. That's what I think anyway. But, but yeah, they're gonna do their closing statement. That's right, their closing statements, and I think that's good because they get a chance to remind the jury of, you know, their point of view. And especially the prosecution, when you had like 34, 35 people witnessing, people, you can forget about what Cassie said, what her mom said, what the one that was, he hung over the balcony said. I mean, thank God these people are alive to talk about it, because some of those brutal beatings, Cassie could have been, she could have lost her life, so thank God that she's still alive to talk about it. But it'll be good that they summarize, and then the defense will summarize as well. And that'll be good. I think it's a lot of lessons to learn from this. I heard the defense say, "Oh well, did Diddy know? He didn't know that they didn't want it." I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" So this is another thing of, and I heard somebody say that recently. I think it was Tyler Perry. When he was telling that guy Derek Wilson, what's his name? I can't remember. He told him, well, make sure when you say no, it's a strong no. It's a strong and definite no. Like, what? Listen, like, and they feel like these people have so much power over them. It's hard for them to even say no, you know, to then say, oh, it needs to be a strong and definite no. They better listen from this and know that a no is a no. A no is a no. Even on a text is a no. They better take that and run with it. Because somebody texts you or emails you that, then they feel coerced and force is applied in some cases, and then drugs are applied in some cases. Like, yeah, they can have something to sue that person. So we could all learn a lot of lessons from this case, definitely. And I think I want to make another video about that for discernment for women. When you see a guy, they always look nice at first. But use discernment, that's a gift from God to be like, is this really a nice guy? Or are there other things involved in this? Or is there another side? Or are we just not compatible? And not be so quick to get in a relationship, but just to wait and let the Lord show you, so that you could be sober and make a right decision and be like, okay, this is just not a good person for me. Maybe they're a good person for somebody else, but not for me. And in that way, we can avoid a lot of traps, and men as well. Man, all right. I just wanted to come over here and just have a little discussion. Hope you all have a great night. Talk to you later. Bye.